a full body workout here. The general setup of it is going to be, we're going to do 3 rounds. The first round we're going to have 3 exercises that involve a weight, and then it's going to be 60 seconds of burpee variation. And then we're going to repeat that round for a second time, and then we're going to take a break and move on to the second round. Second round will be the same idea, so 3 weighted exercises followed by a burpee variation. And I'll explain them all in detail as we go. The first round is going to start off with a deadlift high pull. So these are 2 separate exercises combined into one, back-to-back exercise. So the first one is a deadlift, which is we're going to bend the knees slightly, keep the back nice and rigid. We don't want to slouch over. And we're going to go down to the ground or as low as you feel comfortable going, and then back up. This is the deadlift portion of it. You're going to be feeling this in your lower back and your hamstrings. So after we do the deadlift, we're going to do a high pull. So it's going to look like this. The key here is you want to lead with your elbows, and by that I mean your elbows are going to be staying above your hands at all times. So it looks like this. And when we combine them together, we got deadlift, high pull. That would count as 1. We're going to do 10 of these. So we're moving on to the second exercise of round 1. And this is going to be a squat and press. So to set this up, we're going to do a bit of a clean here just to get it into position. And we are going to squat as deep as you can go, keeping the weight back on your heels. And then as you come up, you thrust the bar up over your head. So you're going to get a nice deep squat and then shoulder press. Squat, shoulder press. So the third exercise of round 1, we called it a heel up chest press. I happen to have a bench here. If you don't, you can do it just right on the ground. You can do it on anything that keeps you elevated a bit. And the reason why it's a heel up chest press is we're going to try to keep those heels a little bit higher than parallel, just so you're working your abs while you're doing the chest press. And the chest press itself, find a comfortable grip in terms of width. You come all the way down to your chest, touch your chest, all the way back up. Find a nice pace. So we're coming to the end of round 1. For this, we're going to do 60 seconds of one-legged burpees. So this is what this is going to look like. We're going to start off on, say, our right leg. We're going to drop into a burpee, which is we're going to drop out into a plank. Keep your core nice and rigid here. We don't want your hips to dip. We don't want to see this happening. So you kick back, keep it nice and rigid. Then you have an optional push-up here. You're going to come in on one foot, jump. And then at that point, we're going to switch to the other foot. I'll show you a couple here at full speed just so you can see what it looks like. So at the end of that first round, we're going to take a real quick break, and then we're going to repeat that whole first round one more time, and then we're going to move on to round 2. Round 2 starts with dips. Again, you can do it on the stepper here, you can do it on some stairs, you can do it on any sort of ledge that gets you elevated. But you can do it right on the ground too if you don't have anything. So we're going to have our hands about shoulder width apart, legs nice and straight. We're going to dip down to the ground, all the way back up. We're going to try to put our elbows to the back of the room rather than letting them come out. If that's too hard for you, you can bring your heels in closer to your butt, take a little bit of the weight off your thighs, and it's the same motion. So for the second workout of round, or the second exercise of round 2, we're going to do some shoulder swings. This can be done with a dumbbell like I'm going to do, which is this dumbbell swings. It can be done with kettlebell swings, sandbag, whatever you got that's going to work for this exercise. So I'll show you a couple here. Come down, bring the arms a little bit higher than 90 degrees. We're going to focus on keeping that back nice and rigid again. And we're creating a pendulum effect with the weights. We're going to use the momentum of the weight to help us out with this exercise. You should feel this in your shoulders and in your lower back. So next we're going to go into rocking rows, the third exercise of round 2. And this is a little bit of spin up off the traditional row. Typical row, just bringing it up and down. What we're going to do is add just a little bit of a rock to it. So you're bringing it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. So what we're going to try to do here is keep the bar as parallel to the ground as you can as you're going, so it's nice and controlled. It's not a swinging motion like this. It's nice and controlled. Pinch the shoulder blades as you get to the top. Really feel it in the back. You feel a little bit in your thighs as well.
Forgot to take pictures.
So to finish off round 2, we're going to do 60 seconds of CrossFit burpees, cross-foot burpees. After 60 seconds of doing this, you can take a little break. We're going to repeat all of round 2 again before we move on to round 3. CrossFit burpee, when you go back into your plank, you have a nice wide stance, so feet far apart. You cross one foot over the other, bring back to that wide stance, back in and up. I'll show you a few here. So you're going to go into that plank, feet wide, cross over, push up, back out wide, and up. Next time you're going to switch the foot that you cross over. So in this case I can keep my left, cross over with my right. Here we go. So moving on to round 3, the first exercise is going to be push-ups. To make it a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to get our feet up and do a inverted incline push-up. It's going to look like this. All the way down, all the way up. Keep your body nice and straight. If that's too hard, you can move to a standard push-up. If that's too hard, you can do an inverted decline push-up, which is your hands above your feet. Again, I have a stepper, you can use stairs, you can use any sort of ledge. That just gives you a little bit of elevation. Same general movement. If that's too hard, you can drop down your knees, do your push-ups that way. The second exercise of round 3, we're going to do a curl with a little bit of a twist here. So we're going to find a nice comfortable grip. We're going to lunge to one side. It doesn't have to be a really deep lunge. Once we're in that lunge, we're going to do a curl. All the way up, all the way down, come back to the middle, over to the other side. Curl. When you're between lunges, you want your arms nice and straight. You don't want to keep them bent the whole time. So that way you're ensuring you're going all the way up and all the way down. Finally, we have around the world squats, the third exercise of round 3. What we're going to do here, you can do this with a plate, you can do it with a sandbag, I'm doing it with a medicine ball. What we're going to do is we're going to swing it up behind your head, and go into a squat, you're going to swing it back around, go into another squat. So you're doing this motion, over your head, over your head. So you're doing a rocking. You're not spinning it all the way around at any point. You're coming up this way, back the same way you came. So I'll do a few. The deeper you go into that squat, the better. So the final burpees that we're going to do is going to be a 180 degree burpee. So this is for 60 seconds. When I complete this, I would do round 3 all over again. You're doing each round 2 times. So you're doing a burpee. The only thing is here, when you come back up, you're doing 180. Burpee. You go back the same way you came. So it's going to be this sort of motion. We don't want you spinning around in circles, getting all dizzy. We want you going this way. Burpee. you complete this, for 60 seconds you're going to complete the exercise. Very much a full body workout. You're hitting just about every muscle group you have. For speed, keep your form proper and just get through this workout as quickly as you can. And we're good to go.